Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report. I'm here at Caribbean Week in New York City, and I'm here with Nicole Solano, who is the CEO of Belize Ministry of Tourism. And I've been lucky enough that I have been to Belize, so I have a very, very brief time, but it was a wonderful visit. And we're going to talk to Nicole about Belize tourism this year and what you can expect, and a whole lot more on Insider Travel Report. Nicole, first of all, it's great to see you here at Caribbean Tourism Week. We're all here. All the Caribbean is up in New York for meetings. They just had a big media presentation for some of the awards for media and journalism. But let's talk a little bit about Belize. How were visitor numbers in 2025, and especially from the U.S.?
Well, first, let me just say thanks, James, for having me, and it's good to be here. Belize is really excited to be a part of this event. We've had a good year last year. Our total visitor numbers was 550,000, more or less, a little bit more, and that was actually a record year for us.
Oh, wonderful. And how many do you have from the U.S. roughly?
Well, about 70 to 80% come from North America, so that's U.S. and Canada. The majority of our travelers are coming from the U.S. and Canada.
Now, how's it looking so far this year in 26?
Well, for the U.S., we are pretty much holding stable. I think there was a little drop from the US, but we have had an increase in travelers from Canada. So between US and Canada, it's still very much on par with last year.
That's fantastic. Now, what about any recent hotel openings, or what are your big properties down there, and is anything coming online very soon?
Well, people who have been to Belize might remember the Fort George Hotel. That's one of the properties that they're undergoing a major renovation. It used to be the Radisson, but now it's just the Fort George, right. And they're going to be adding a significant amount of rooms. We also have Four Seasons. They're actually undergoing some very much big renovation. Well, the development, so that should be within the next couple of years. We should see that opening, and that's a big one for us.
No, then of course that's a pretty big brand, absolutely. So those properties now.
But you do know that the majority of properties in Belize are small properties, and they're many of them are not branded properties, small boutique hotels, whether they're on the islands or inland. So many of them are actually, on average, we have about 10 rooms per property in Belize.
Yeah, so it's really used. And I noticed that too when I was down there, that they were very much smaller properties, and I was even at a branded property, at least at the time, and it was still small.
Yes. Most of the hotels are small, and that really does allow us to give that personalized service. And people come to Belize and they really do expect that customized experience where they can, connect with the people.
No, absolutely. Now, how do you get to Belize? I mean, what are some of the gateways from the U.S. That you have, and do you have any more flights coming online?
Yeah. Well, coming from the U.S., it's easy. We have several flights out of Miami, Houston. We have direct flights as well out of Dallas. We have Alaska Air out of Los Angeles, and certain days out of the week we do have flights out of Newark, Charlotte, Denver.
Yeah, so there are plenty. There's several, and you're all flying into what part do you go? Then, of course, I know it's my experience. We got into smaller planes and we went off to different areas of Belize. Right?
Yes. So the international airlines fly into our Philip Goldson International Airport. We only have one international airport in Belize, and from there are smaller commuter planes, either Maya Island Air or Tropic Air, that can fly passengers to San Pedro and Burgess Key, Kikaka, Placencia, Dangriga, Punta Gorda. So there are many points within Belize that these flights can take passengers, or they can go by road or water taxi. So there are many ways to travel around Belize.
You're kind of a nation of a coastal nation with lots of little inlets and islands and things. So it's not you can go by road, but not everywhere.
Well, most places are accessible. Remember, we're not an island. We're in the Caribbean. We're on the Caribbean coast of Central America, and we have several islands. So Belize does have that marine environment, but we have a lot of inland adventure and inland activities as well. So once you land in Belize, you can actually travel by road throughout the entire country, or you can reach the islands by boat or by plane.
Okay, well that's good to know because I didn't have that experience. I went to, now let's talk a little bit about we're heading into the summer, which you're kind of calling the green season, which is the warmer season, and that goes almost to November. What are some of the things that people can do during the green season? The experiences they can get during this time because it maybe there's a little more rain, but not a lot, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the majority of people that come to Belize come in the winter months because they're coming from the north, escaping the cold. So the busiest time for travel for Belize would be after Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving week, going all the
Right.
way up into March or April. So typically after Easter and throughout the summer, it's slower for us. So travelers that come in that time of year will have, just less people. It's a lot more exclusive, and they have a lot of the activities that they can experience without too many crowds. I mean, in general, Belize is not a mass destination, so we don't have a lot of people no matter what time of year you're visiting. But more so in the summer, people can have a lot of exclusive time. So we do encourage that.
And you can also have some probably pretty good values down at the resorts at that time as well, right?
Yes, so the resorts typically do have different rates in the summer, and it's a lot more affordable. And even the tours, sometimes they're discounted. So those travelers who are looking for a little bit more of a, discounted experience can have that in the summer for sure.
Oh, fantastic. And of course, some of the great things, like Belize is known as a big dive destination, I believe, and in fact we experienced it that. But what are some of the activities that people engage in down in Belize?
Well, let me talk just a minute about the diving, snorkeling, and fishing.
Okay.
So the marine activities are the main reasons why people visit Belize, because we have the the longest barrier reef in the Western Hemisphere.
That's what I do remember that, and we went down around that reef. It's beautiful.
Exactly. So it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and we have three of the four coral atolls in the Caribbean. So definitely diving, snorkeling, fishing, these are the main activities. But whether you're a diver or not, you can actually add on to those marine activities by going inland. We have all of the Mayan archaeological sites.
I was going to say that you are a site for Mayan archaeology as well, right?
Exactly. So the Maya history and heritage, but there are so many different ethnicities and ethnic groups. So there's a lot of culture. The cuisine is very different. So travelers that come to Belize can actually have that one-on-one experience with the communities and engage with people and have cultural experiences. So this supplements what's happening on the marine side.
Fantastic. And so there's plenty of do down there if you're looking for history, for archaeology, and of course diving and fishing. You mentioned fishing, so there's plenty of things there. Now we go out to about 125,000 travel advisors. What can you do for the trade, and where can they find out more information about how to better sell Belize?
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I could say about Belize is a destination that you understand best once you've had a chance to visit. So we do have a lot of activities that, we do trade education, and there's a lot of information available. But I think fam trips and visits to Belize is really the way to get to understand, to experience the properties. And by doing that, our trade partners are better able to explain this and customize for travelers. I think Belize is really a destination that's different from most. I mean, we don't have a lot of large properties, large branded properties. So being able to go down there and really have a look at what's happening is best. So we welcome the trade to come to Belize, and there are many opportunities for fam trips and trade education. That continues. Very important for us.
Now, anything else you'd like to tell our travel advisor audience about Belize today?
Well, look out for Belize. Definitely. We have a lot of activities happening, a lot of Belize presentations for trade groups throughout the U.S. And we constantly look for ways to connect. And whatever information you need or any doubts or anything at all, we're always ready to talk to the trade, to explain anything that needs to be explained, and ready to to support.
Now, where can advisors go to learn more about Belize, and also maybe go check out what some of these fam trips you might have?
Well, the Belize Tourism Board, which is based in Belize, is primarily responsible for organizing all of this. But we have our website, which is travelbelize.org, that has an extensive amount of information, and definitely invite the trade to have a look there and make contact. We have all of our social media pages and all of the information that's readily available. And if there's any questions at all, just reach out by email, by WhatsApp, by phone, and we'll be glad to assist.
So go to travelbelize.org and you can find out even more, and then you can maybe get yourself on a trip and that's how I got to experience it. I really thought I always knew about Belize, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was. I heard many good things about it, and they all proved to be true when I was down there a couple of years ago. But I got to go back now, because obviously I didn't get all of Belize that I could, right?
Well, I'll tell you that. I mean, Belize is a destination that has something for everyone, and you can return over and over and have a different experience. So, if you've been once, it's not enough, that's for sure.
Well, I will definitely try to get down there again to take a look. Nicole, I want to thank you for taking the time. I know it's a busy week with you here in New York for Caribbean Week. And again, go check out travelbelize.org, and also get down to Belize and see what it's all about. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well. Look forward to having you again.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.